Hi, and welcome to Run Tall with Tim. I'm Tim, and today is Season 2, Week 4 of a 15-week half marathon training program using Garmin Coach. I'm excited to tell you all about the workout, so let's just get right into it. So it is Tuesday, and so today I'm going to be running some speed repeats. Came back down to the state park, my favorite place to be. So the format for today is I'm going to start with a 15-minute jog to warm up, and then I'm going to run at a pace of 7:14 to a 7:34 minute mile for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take 3 minutes to jog to recover. I'm going to repeat that cycle 3 different times. And then I'm going to move right into the second set of the speed repeats. So I'm going to run then for 30 seconds, running at a pace of a 7:04 to a 7:24 minute mile, with a 1 minute to jog to cool down or to recover. And then I'm going to repeat that cycle 6 different times. And then I'm going to end the workout with a 15-minute jog to cool down. So I'm in my 15-minute jog to warm up. My plan is to run to the other side of the lake, where I know I've got some flatter ground, pavement, a couple parking lots that are kind of put together over there. And that's where I plan to be running the speed repeats. So I need about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a mile where I can run at a pretty quick pace without having to worry about traffic, things like that. So I think that'll be a good spot to do it on the workout. So the first one is over. And when I say first one, I just mean the first 5 minutes. And you can tell that I'm out of breath, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge, but that's the way it should be. The only way I'm going to get stronger and faster is to increase my effort. That's one of the things I love about the Garmin Coach program, is they do it gradually, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. So I'm in the 15-minute jog to cool down. Overall, I think it went pretty well. I felt like I did struggle a bit at first, just to find my pace range and to stay in it. But practice makes perfect, so hopefully, as we get closer to the race, I'll be better at pacing myself. So I'm anxious to see how I did. So let's go ahead and break it down and see exactly how I did do for these speed repeats. I'm going to start with the overview, and again I'm using the Garmin app to pull this information from. And you can see that total time for the workout was 1 hour and 3 minutes and 7 seconds. I went a distance of 7.45 miles. And let's scroll over now and we'll take a look at some of the pace averages. My average pace was 8 minutes and 28 second minute mile. My average speed was 7.1 miles an hour with a max speed of 10.1 miles an hour. So let's scroll over again and we'll continue looking at that same averages. And we have a heart rate of 163 beats per minute with a max heart rate of 179 beats per minute. I always like to look at my run cadence. It was 191 steps per minute on average with a max cadence of 222 steps per minute. And let's scroll over again, and here we can see my gain, elevation, and loss. Not a whole lot going on this run. I had started on one side of the lake and basically stayed on flat ground. We've gotten a lot of rain over the last few days, and I didn't want to go off trail. Plus, I was looking for a nice flat space that where I could run the speed repeats and not have to worry about traffic. So I went around to a parking lot on the other side of the lake today. So let's call up and we'll look at the average paces by lap. And we can see that, the first couple laps were my warm-ups. And then lap 3 starts with the first of the 5-minute segments. And I was running an average pace of 7:15 minute mile, so right in the range that Garmin was calling for. Lap 5 was a 7:21. And we'll move over and we got lap 7, which was a 7:16 minute mile. Then lap 9 was a 5:49 minute mile, so apparently moving out there. And then we'll go over again. Lap 11, 6:24 minute mile. 13 was a 6:33. Lap 15 was a 6:22. And then lap 17 was a 7:20 minute mile. And then 19 was a 5:42. And then lap 21 was a 9:15. And then lap 23 was at 7:39. So it just kind of looks like lap 21, 22, and 23, those were my cool down periods. And, as I mentioned, my cool down pace was a little quicker than I wanted it to be, or where I thought it should be for a cool down. So I did work on trying to dial that back just a little bit as I went, even though lap 23 was a little bit faster than the other two. I felt pretty good. My ankle felt good, and I was getting close to the car. So I don't know, maybe I just was psychologically picking up the pace just to try to get back to my vehicle. So let's scroll over and just look at it visually for a quick sec. And you can see the paces, and you can see the spikes in that blue graph of where I was actually running the speed repeats themselves. And then we'll scroll over, we'll look at heart rate. Again, my average heart rate, 163 beats per minute with an average, or with a maximum of 179. And then I always, again, like to look at my cadence, and you can see where that is 191 steps per minute on average, represented there in that purple graph. And then my heart rate zone, you can see that I spent most of my time in zone 5, which is where I should be on a fast-paced workout like speed repeats. So there it is. That's the breakdown for speed repeats for Tuesday. Join me tomorrow as I break down Wednesday's workouts for you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another, and we'll see you next time.